What's poppin', everybody? It's the Saber94 here with a new deck profile featuring cards from Ascended Heroes. I figured out a way to make a deck based around on this Mega Feraligatr EX, as ridiculous as it looks. This Mega form from the latest games. This is a water Pokemon with excellent HP, 370. It's almost as good as it's gonna get. I mean, it's no Venusaur, but it ain't a Venusaur anyway to be so tanky. And it has a solid attack that does 200 for 3. And then if your opponent has any damage counters on it, then it does 400. So if you manage to hit for 400 damage with this Pokemon, you're essentially one-hit KOing anything, whether it's a Mega Evolution Pokemon and everything else in between. I think that sounded wrong, but anyway. Now, in the beginning I thought, man, there isn't really a good way to spread damage. We don't have a good like spreading Pokemon that you can just put an energy on, spread on everybody like before. It was a Spinda. We had a bunch of stuff. In the Sword and Shield era, there was the Zigzagoon that you can just place a damage counter on, just a basic Pokemon. But then I remembered we got this Golbat, Team Rocket's Golbat, which is gonna do pretty much the same thing. It's a stage 1 with Sneaky Bite. When we evolve, we can put 2 damage counters on an opponent's Pokemon. So by doing this combo, you meet Feraligatr's condition of the attack, and you get in for 400. Now, the problem is though, we still need 3 water energies on this guy, and again, with these wacky combo decks that you need a bunch of pieces to make work, you need a lot of stuff, and it can give you consistency problems. Now, I guess in our case, we got this Tatsugiri, which is going to give me 2 water energies from the deck, and it kind of speeds up the process. You know, you sort of burn 1 to attach on this guy, you get 2 from the deck, attach them to Totodile. Has to be Totodile because it's only a basic Pokemon. Keep this in mind. If you evolve into Crocodile or Feraligatr, you can't attach the energies. So, problems as usual. But it's what we got. I thought this was more effective than using the Chien-Pao that gets them from the discard pile. And it's just no easy way to do this. I mean, I'll admit, to expect that this attack was going to work with 1 or 2 energy would be just too overpowered. So it's not really much of the issue in the sense that we really would have needed something like an Aqua Patch. That would have been pretty good in this deck. And maybe a way to put damage counters that didn't involve a stage 1. But anyway, the line is going to be 4 of the Feraligatr EX, 1 of the Crocodile. I don't got space for a second one, and this card isn't very good anyway. And then 4 of the Totodile. I'm doing the Totodile from the Temporal Forces set. Is that the name? Basically this one that can get Pokemon stuck with Big Bite. It does 10 damage, and then your opponent's Pokemon can retreat. So in a desperate situation, if things go wrong, which they are going to go a lot with this deck, you can maybe get something stuck and then buy yourself some time while you're setting up. Because here's the thing, this deck is very, very prone to disruption. Like, so many things your opponent can do, it's just going to ruin the strategy. You know, you try and use Tatsugiri to power up the Totodile, they pick on the Totodile to kill it, all your efforts were for nothing. You don't open with Tatsugiri, you open with something else. You know, you try and get something stuck with Totodile where you're building something else. They can do like Munkidori shit, they can do Dragapult, they can do Dusknoir where you're slowly trying to set up. Dusknoir evolves quickly and then kills something. This thing only has 50 HP. It's just, you're very, very prone to disruption. Okay? And if we are going to open with something else that's not Tatsugiri, then the stall get something stuck tactic is going to need to work, otherwise we're screwed. But yeah, this is why I think you should run this one as opposed to the 80 HP one, and maybe it'll work out. If you are fortunate enough and your opponent opens up with a Pokemon that is kind of a support Pokemon that can attack, and they don't really have a way to mess with you, then you could essentially buy enough time and then slowly attach your energies and evolve to your Pokemon, and you don't even need to rely on Tatsugiri. But that's just the best case scenario. Anyway, we do max out the Tatsugiri though, so we can hopefully open with it. And then I also got the 3 Rockets Zubat and then 3 Golbats. You can't have space for more. We need a lot of water energies. We're running a lot of Pokemon, so we ain't got space for trainer cards. Like, I don't even got like ways to just, if I really wanted to open with this guy, just run a bunch of switching outlets so that I can make sure I can just switch to this dude in the beginning. But we don't even have the luxury for that. Anyway, so water energy is 12 because we need enough to power this guy up, enough for manual attachments, and so that we don't mess anything up. I need to see the water energy if I open with this guy. That's why I also got the vessel, the one of. But yeah, standard stuff for the Pokemon. I do the 3 Pofins to get Totodile and Zubat. And I don't really do Nest Ball or max this out because we also got the Pokepad here. This can fetch me basic Pokemon and evolution Pokemon, mainly Golbat. The triple Mega Signal is going to be our best way to get the Feraligatr in hand, so that's good. Rare Candy, standard stuff, evolve to our guy. And then I also got the Petrol to fetch these cards. Do the 1 switch, could be handy, and then the Prime Catcher, another switching outlet. That's also my pulling card here. I don't run Boss's Orders, it's way too slow. If we're going to be getting our ass kicked, we're going to be behind if things go wrong, so the Counter Catcher works better as opposed to something else. And yeah, I wish I could have a bigger disruption element since we got this Totodile, but again, the space doesn't do you favors. I mean, I only got supporter cards for the Lilies, the Ionos, and then the 3 Petrols. That's it. The best ones for draw, and then Petrol is the best to get that evolution into Feraligatr as soon as possible. By getting the candy, by getting like a Mega Signal, whatever I'm missing. And yeah, there's not much else for me to say about this deck. It looks simple in theory. And if it works out, your draws are smooth and you can get that set up, you go undisrupted, then yeah, this guy getting 1-hit KOs on anything is powerful. But it is very prone to disruption. I'd say even Eriga, the Eriga deck, is more consistent than this, more reliable. The other problem is the lightning weakness. Lightning decks, lightning Pokemon do see play. If you get paired up with one of those, you're pretty much screwed. Especially because you really, once you power up this guy, you're really relying on him to take at least 1 or 2 shots until you can power up something else, the next Feraligatr. But yeah, not much else to add. I mean, short deck profile, I guess I should wrap it up instead of rambling. Just try to optimize it for consistency. I don't even have space for stadiums. Optimize for consistency, a few techs here and there, and then hope everything works out. It's the only way I thought of to make this Feraligatr work. If there's a better way, you can tell me. Okay, so this is the deck profile. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll post some matches, of course. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share the video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.